Hi kids, I'm Storytime Pup, and welcome to the Storytime Pup Show. I'm so glad you came by to play. I love when my friends come by to play, and you're one of my friends. Are you ready to have fun? Let's see what we're going to do today. Magic marker, show us what we're going to do today. Yay! It's storybook time! We love storybook time! Well, hi kids! And thanks for stopping by for today's book. Today's book is The Wondrous Tales of Waddleton. Book 1, Making Friends. And it's written by Kaitlin Nicole. Are you ready? Okay, let's get started with today's book. As the summer sun gleamed high above, its brilliant reflection danced across the surface of the ocean waves. In the distance, Waddleton picked his head above the water, watching longingly as the children constructed sandcastles on the shoreline. Their laughter was music to his ears as he bobbed in the water. Sunny days like this were his favorite because the kids always came out to play together. Oh, what he wouldn't give to have friends like that! Waddleton was a one-of-a-kind aquatic dragon, or a water dragon, if that's easier to say. No one knew where he came from, or how he arrived at Bumble Beach, but being different made finding friends hard for him. Despite his best efforts, Waddleton found it difficult to fit in with the other sea creatures. However, something about those two humans intrigued him. If he could muster the courage to speak to them, he just knew they would become the best of friends. Waddleton eagerly waited every day for the children to come outside and play, imagining how wonderful it would be to join in on the fun. On the rare, stormy days when they were forced to stay inside their small cottage, he would nap or play alone in his underwater cavern. When the weather was nice and the children weren't home, Waddleton would take flight in the vast blue sky to stretch his wings. Flying always lifted his spirits. He loved it almost as much as he loved deep-sea swimming. After the children went to bed one night, Waddleton found himself sitting on a large boulder with a heavy heart. He felt a strange magnetic pull towards the little boy and his sister, and it was becoming more difficult to ignore. With his feet dangling in the water, Waddleton thought long and hard about what to do. One thing was certain, he didn't want to be lonely anymore. Making friends was such a scary step for the young water dragon, though. As he gazed up at the moon, half tucked away behind the clouds, he decided then and there that it was time to answer Destiny's call and finally make some friends. When morning came, Waddleton could barely contain his excitement. Today was the day! He anxiously awaited the children's arrival on the beach, rehearsing his lines, one word at a time. The sound of laughter broke his concentration. He turned toward the beach and saw the little boy and girl splashing in the waves. Shaking off his nerves, Waddleton cautiously swam to shore. Ahem, Waddleton said quietly, clearing his throat. And when they didn't turn, he tried again, a little louder. The little girl noticed Waddleton in the water nearby and gasped, shaking her brother's arm to get his attention. Justin! Justin, look! She shouted in excitement. Wow, Kate, look how cute he is, said Justin with a huge smile as his eyes landed on Waddleton. Hi, my name is Waddleton, said Waddleton nervously. I'm Kate. I'm Justin. Will you be my friends? Waddleton asked with a shy smile. The two children looked at one another happily medicine. Waddleton's wings fluttered in excitement, lifting him out of the water. He made a graceful arch high in the sky before diving back down with a huge splash. I've never had friends before. Will you help me build a sandcastle? Waddleton asked hopefully. Waddleton, Kate, and Justin spent the rest of the day playing in the sand, constructing whatever their imaginations could conjure up. They made a pact to never tell their mom or anyone else about the talking water dragon, and had so much fun learning all about him. It was the best day of Waddleton's entire life. As dusk approached, the sky grew dim and filled with vibrant reds and oranges. "Supper's ready!" a voice rang from inside the cottage. "Aw," said the children together in disappointment. "Will we see you tomorrow?" asked Kate, her eyes sparkling with hope. "Yes, I'll see you every day, forever and ever," replied Waddleton. "Oh, and one more thing. Thank you for being my friends." He then dove deep underwater, feeling happier than he'd ever felt before. Waddleton's joy bubbled over as he swam in the open waters of the ocean. He spun and twirled with gentle currents, laughing and beating his wings to swim even faster. When he couldn't ignore his tiredness any longer, he made his way home. Drowsily, he crawled into bed in his underwater cavern and drifted off into a peaceful sleep. His dreams were filled with fun adventures with his two new best friends. It was the best sleep he had ever had. The following day, the children eagerly waited on the shoreline for Waddleton to appear. His heart overflowed with happiness when he popped his head out of the water and saw their smiling faces. "Can we see where you live?" asked Kate as she and Justin swam out to meet Waddleton. "Really? You want to see my home?" Waddleton said in surprise. "Yes!" said the children excitedly, splashing in the water. "Well, you see," he said hesitantly, "I'm a water dragon, so I live underwater. There is a way for me to show you, if you really want to see it, though." "We do! We really, really do!" shouted Justin. "Really?" agreed Kate. "Let's go, then!" exclaimed Waddleton, overjoyed. Waddleton led his new friends out to open waters, stopping just before the strongest point of the currents. "Because you can't breathe underwater, I'll have to put air bubbles on your heads," he said as he floated in the water. "Ooh, what's that?" asked Kate excitedly. "It's easier if I just show you," replied Waddleton. He then began to twirl his right front claw in the water, creating a tornado-like formation under the surface. When he moved his left front claw and hovered it over the turbulent water, two large, translucent, or see-through, if that's easier to say, orbs rose up and above the spiraling water. The ocean stilled then, as he held one orb in each palm. Carefully, Waddleton placed an orb on each of the children's heads. "Now, let's go into the water, and you can breathe just like me!" exclaimed Waddleton excitedly. When Kate and Justin dove down, their eyes lit up in wonder. "Whoa!" they gasped in amazement. "Follow me," said Waddleton, his voice just as clear as when he was above the water. The children trailed behind him, in complete awe of the wondrous underwater world before them. Waddleton slowed the beating of his wings as they approached a moss-covered stone cavern that was just large enough to house a cozy-looking bed made entirely of coral reefs and seaweed. "Here it is," Waddleton proclaimed proudly. "This is my home." "It's so cute," exclaimed Kate. "That's the coolest bed I've ever seen," Justin said, sounding impressed. "Thank Thank you. I made it all by myself, replied Waddleton shyly. The three friends laughed and flipped across the ocean floor, having the time of their lives. As the sun began to set, they knew it would be time to return to the shore soon. Waddleton led the way back to the cove, feeling lighter than air to have such wonderful new friends. Will we see you tomorrow? Justin asked, hopefully. Of course, Waddleton replied. I'll see you every day, forever and ever. Kate rushed towards him then, gave him the first hug he'd ever had. Justin jumped in, too, and Waddleton hugged them tightly before wishing them good night. As Waddleton kicked his feet and flapped his wings deep underwater, his heart swelled with joy. He finally had two of the best friends he could have ever wished for. He knew they'd be friends forever, and he was so glad he mustered up the courage to talk to them. Waddleton didn't have to be alone anymore. As he settled into his small cavern, his mind buzzed with excitement, imagining all the fun adventures that awaited him and his two new best friends. The fun had only just begun. The end. So what did you think about today's book? I thought it was a wonderful story. And I thought it was great how Waddleton finally got up the courage to approach the kids and ask them to be friends. And they were happy to be friends with him. And look at the wonderful adventures they had, and the wonderful adventures that they will have. Friendship is oh so special. I hope you enjoyed today's book. I want to say a great big thank you to Kaitlin Nicole for sharing this wonderful book about Waddleton.